All right, we're midway through chapter 6. I would like to take a pause and introduce you a new segment of our podcast. This one is called Text from Your Ex. So this is an Instagram account. You can go follow them. They have right now probably more than 2.5 million followers now. They just show you the funny text between an exes. Okay, I'll give you some example. What are you doing tonight? Found out you have been sending the same pics to another friend of mine. Laugh out loud. So I'm gonna step back and let you guys do your thing. Ha 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 ha. I wonder who. Oh, confusing face. Been texting that pics to that many people? Busted. Next one. Why should we keep in touch? It makes no sense. I miss you all the time. I have never met a more sad person than you ever. I want my Jamie Oliver cookbook back. Oh, this guy got stuck in the other person, the ex apartment. Looks like. All right, keep going further. So, talk about how do we know if a compound is soluble or not. Well, I mean, we have to do experiment, right? When scientists do a lot of experiment and millions of experiment, you don't have to do it. We summarize it for you right here. Okay? So can you memorize the whole thing? No, I'm just kidding. No, don't memorize it. No. Did I freak you out a little? Don't freak out. No, you don't memorize it. I'm going to teach you how to use it. Okay? All right, so the following are soluble. All right, this is like the rule. If you see any of these ions, 100% soluble. You don't have to think twice. They are soluble. All right, containing the following ions. So group 1, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium. These are cesium, francium. You don't really see they are radioactive. We don't really talk about it. So usually lithium, sodium, potassium are the main one you're going to see. All right. So if you see lithium ion, sodium ion, potassium ion, and ammonium ion, don't think twice. That compound is soluble in water. Okay. And negative 1 ion like nitrate, chlorate, perchlorate, and acetate. I imagine like acetic acid, right? Soluble in water. So anyway, so all this, if you see all these ion together, not together, like if you see this ion, any of these ion in a compound, don't think twice. They are soluble in water. Group 1, lithium, sodium, potassium ion, ammonium ion, nitrate, chlorate, perchlorate, acetate. Okay. All right. So this is group 1 right here. All right. Let's try. So sodium phosphate, soluble or insoluble in water? Soluble. How do you know? Group 1, sodium. Don't think twice. They are soluble. So I'm going to put aqueous right there. All right. Ammonium chloride, soluble in water. So ammonium. Okay. Lithium. Don't have to say lithium. Done. Soluble. All right. So lithium acetate. Acetate also soluble in water. Potassium. Yep. Done. Potassium chromate. Soluble in water. Aluminum chloride. We don't know. I haven't told you yet, so we don't know. Calcium carbonate. We don't know. No, we do. That's calcium carbonate is limestone. Is limestone soluble in water? No, it's not. Right. So we have seen calcium carbonate a few times. So well, you should know. All right. So calcium carbonate is limestone, so not soluble in water. Calcium nitrate, totally soluble. Nitrate, one of these. Nitrate, chlorate, perchlorate, acetate. Boron, perchlorate, soluble. Right there, perchlorate. Silver iodide. This guy, well, we don't know yet, but it's not soluble in water. I show you like a few slides earlier. So group 7 with silver and group 7, they stick together really well. So not soluble in water, right? But we will talk about it in a little bit. Iron 3 oxide, soluble or insoluble? Oh, come on. This one we have seen many times. So this is rust, right? Iron 3 oxide, rust. So insoluble. You can, and sometime later you're going to see all this in the chemical reaction. You should be able to identify who is soluble, who is insoluble. Okay, sodium chloride, totally sodium, right? Soluble in water. Silver nitrate, soluble in water. Sodium, yes, right? Sodium nitrate, yes, as well. Silver chloride, so group 7 and chlorine, and also group 7 and silver. insoluble in water, but we'll talk about it in a bit. All right, if you see these ions soluble in water, group 1, don't think twice, ammonium, and negative 1 ion, nitrate, chlorate, perchlorate, acetate. Okay, and these also soluble in water. Anything that pair up with group 7, right? Anything pair up with group 7 usually soluble in water except silver, copper 1, mercury 2, and lead. Silver, copper, mercury, and lead. Okay, and sulfate in group 7 usually soluble except calcium, strontium, barium, mercury, lead. Watch out for the exception. Okay. All right. One more time. So sodium acetate. Yes. Sodium soluble. Acetate soluble. Calcium sulfate. Look back. Sulfate usually soluble in water except calcium, strontium, barium, and then mercury, lead. So insoluble in water. Magnesium carbonate. Soluble? No, we don't know. I haven't talked about it yet. Yeah. Lead sulfate. I talk about sulfate. So sulfate usually soluble in water except calcium, strontium, barium, mercury, lead. There we go. So insoluble. Watch out the mercury and lead. Usually these are problematic. So with group 7, precipitate with group 7 with sulfate. Copper bromide. Go back to group 7. Group 7 usually soluble except silver, copper, mercury, and lead. So yeah, copper right there. Barium sulfate. So go back to sulfate. Sulfate usually soluble except calcium, strontium, barium, mercury, and lead. Oh no. Sulfate and barium. Precipitate. No, S right here. S, barium sulfate. Next one, ammonium. Well, don't think twice. Ammonium, yes, soluble. Ammonium right here. Magnesium sulfate. So sulfate usually soluble in water. Do you see any magnesium here? Nope. So this guy is soluble. Magnesium sulfate is soluble. Lead bromide. So watch out. Go back to group 7. So group 7 is usually soluble, water soluble, except silver, copper, mercury, lead. So we have lead right there. Next one, potassium. Yep, yes. Potassium, group 1, potassium iodide. And group 7 usually soluble. Potassium is not one of this. Now, in the chemical equation, we got lead, nitrate soluble. Lithium, don't think twice. Yes, lithium sulfate. Lead sulfate, go back to the sulfate. So sulfate usually soluble except calcium, strontium, barium, mercury, lead sulfate. Nope, not soluble. So solid there. Lithium nitrate. So lithium and nitrate, both of them are soluble in water. There we go. Okay. All right, let's go to the next video. The following are insoluble in water.